Captain Zrixanel had commanded the merchant vessel Stellar Fortune for 12 cycles. He knew every corridor, every system, every crew member's routine. The human mechanic, hired 3 months ago at the frontier station, was the quietest addition he'd ever made. The man barely spoke, communicated through nods and hand gestures, and kept to the engine room. His work, however, was flawless. When Zrixanel's personal environmental system malfunctioned, he'd mentioned it in passing during morning rounds. The human had simply nodded and returned to his duties. Now, approaching his cabin after a 12-hour shift, Zrixanel assumed the repair would wait until tomorrow. The door was unlocked. Zrixanel entered, his 4 eyes adjusting to the dim lighting, and froze completely. The human sat cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by dismantled components of the environmental system. But that wasn't what stopped Zrixanel's breath. In a mechanic's calloused hands was the captain's most precious possession, the memory shrine of his deceased bondmate. The delicate crystalline structure, priceless, irreplaceable, containing holographic recordings of 30 years together, rested in those alien hands. "What are you?" Zrixanel's voice came out as a hiss, his chest plates flaring in territorial aggression. The human looked up calmly. He didn't speak. Instead, he gently tilted the shrine, and Zrixanel saw it. One of the crystal nodes had cracked. The environmental system's coolant leak had been dripping directly onto the shrine's base for days, degrading the structural integrity. Another week, and the entire memory matrix would have corrupted, erasing 3 decades of irreplaceable moments. The mechanic gestured to his toolkit, then to the shrine, then made a questioning motion with his hands. "You want to fix it?" Zrixanel whispered. A nod. "Do you even know what this is?" The human's expression softened. He pointed to a small photograph clipped to his tool belt. A woman and 2 children, their images faded from years of handling. Then he pointed to the shrine, then to his own chest, over his heart. Understanding flooded through Zrixanel. He knows. He understands. Can you repair it without damaging the memories? Another nod. The mechanic pulled out a specialized adhesive from his kit, something Zrixanel recognized as a human polymer, designed for bonding crystalline structures without heat or pressure. It was perfect, better than anything in the ship's inventory. For the next hour, Zrixanel watched in silence as the human worked with meticulous care. Each movement was deliberate, respectful. The man handled the shrine as if it were his own treasure, testing each repair before proceeding. When he finished, the human activated the shrine. Holographic images bloomed into the air. Zrixanel's bondmate, laughing at their bonding ceremony. Their first voyage together. Their last sunrise before the illness took her. The mechanic carefully returned the shrine to its place, bowed slightly, and gathered his tools. "Wait," Zrixanel's voice cracked. "What's your name? Your real name?" The human pulled out his datapad and typed, "Michael Torres. But my crew always called me Mike." "Why don't you speak, Mike?" Another pause, more typing. "Lost my voice in an engine room accident. Decade ago. Learned that good work speaks louder anyway." Zrixanel's chest plates settled, his aggression replaced by profound gratitude. "You went into the captain's private quarters without permission." Mike typed, "You said it was broken. Things that hold memories shouldn't stay broken." "Thank you," Zrixanel breathed, "for understanding what this meant." Mike simply smiled, nodded, and left as quietly as he'd entered. Later, Zrixanel would tell his crew about the silent human who fixed more than just machines, who understood that some repairs weren't about systems and circuits. They were about preserving the pieces of ourselves we can't bear to lose. And that sometimes the quietest crew members speak the loudest truths.